What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Joby Butler Has a Podcast. Joining me today, somebody I'm meeting for the first time.
That's right.
Been looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Master mixologist and winner of, what is it, 614 magazine, right? 2019, is it Cointreau? Am I saying that right?
Cointreau Challenge.
Cointreau
Bartender Challenge, yeah.
Which I want to hear about that.
Sure. Yeah.
Mr. Jesse Hubbard.
Thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. We talked about doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
You also are bar manager at Great Southern Whiskey Bar.
I am,
right?
yeah.
At Weston? At the Weston?
The Great Southern Weston, yeah.
Tell me a little bit how you get started there.
Sure.
And then you also have a lot going on this coming month.
Yeah, I do.
That we're going to get into. I guess start with at the Weston, the Great Southern Whiskey Bar.
Sure. So my wife and I lived in Louisville, Kentucky for 5 years. And we wanted to make the move to Ohio.
Is this where the whiskey enthusiast comes in?
Well,
Kentucky.
I mean, that's where I really kind of got my chops. I had been an enthusiast for a long time.
Right, sure.
And it wasn't until I moved to Louisville that I realized how much I still had to learn about bourbon in general. So I really enjoyed my time there and wanted to come be closer to my family, my wife's family. So we wanted to make the move to Ohio. Lo and behold, there's this whiskey bar in downtown Columbus that just kind of transitioned into that concept. And the stars aligned. And
perfect. So are you originally from Ohio?
No, I'm originally from Princeton, New Jersey.
Okay.
But we moved out here when I was, still younger, and I went to high school, and then I did some college out here in Ohio as well.
So tell me then, big events going on this coming month.
Yeah.
All of November.
Sure.
Are there other bars involved besides just yours?
No other bars, but we've got a lot of other folks involved.
And you guys are partnering up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation.
We are. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you guys have planned coming up for this month.
So traditionally November is known for being Movember.
Right.
Guys will grow out their mustache, the facial hair, and all to kind of raise awareness for, among other things, but also like prostate cancer is the big thing. Sure. This, it's very personal to me. My dad is dealing with this at an advanced stage, unfortunately, and I wanted to really do something to honor him and honor everybody else that has ever dealt with this, because it's a hard one. People don't talk about it enough. We're aware of it, prostate cancer, but we don't talk about it enough as something that it can be a killer.
Right.
Because often people are fortunate enough to catch it early enough. So the general idea is we want to raise awareness that not just that it's something that's out there that can happen, but early detection is so key.
Absolutely.
And it's something that is just, you just take for granted, but all of us have to do that. At a certain age, we just got to start getting checked for that. So we're doing a lot of really fun events all month long. And, saying, let's have a great time and raise some money for something that's really important.
Sure.
So starting on the 1st, running all month long, I'm going to do some fun cocktails with $1 from those going to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Everything that we can get funneled over to them, we're going to do. Big events going on, though. On the 7th, we're doing a tasting event with Whistlepig Rye Whiskey, which I'm super excited about. I love those guys. Steve Frederick's coming over, and we're going to do a really nice tasting bunch of expressions of theirs. We're going to be doing some raffles, food, signature cocktails, a bunch of fun stuff that night.
Cool.
And a lot of different ways from that night we can get money going over to the Prostate Cancer Foundation.
Awesome.
Other big things going on. The 14th, we're doing a tasting with Middle West Spirits.
Okay.
Christina Basham is coming over, and she's going to be teaching kind of an educational course with the tasting. Going to be raffling off some really cool stuff there as well. This is going to be like a ticketed event, so it's going to be more like an educational, almost a seminar type thing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then on the 17th, we're going to be doing a kind of a bar tap takeover with Watershed Distillery. Going to be having some guest bartenders from over there. We're going to be probably having a live band. Just so much cool stuff.
Yeah, sounds like a good time.
Yeah, on the 17th, we're going to be doing an Angel's Envy tasting.
Oh, Angel's Envy.
No, the 21st rather. 21st. 17th is the middle or is the Watershed Spirits.
Okay.
21st is Angel's Envy, and then everything coming to like a head on the 30th.
Right.
We're gonna be having DJ George Brazil there. We're gonna have Barry Chandler doing an Irish whiskey tasting, a Wolf's Ridge Brewing Tap takeover.
So you got it all going on.
And a big silent auction. So we're getting so much cool stuff in, that people are donating because everybody can relate to. They can relate to want to do something for this.
Right, absolutely.
So
it's for a good cause.
But yeah, so I'm gonna have all this information on my Instagram, 614 Whiskey Neat.
I'll put it up on
and then like everybody can go on there and check it because it's a lot.
And you have some great looking drinks on there, some great looking cocktails.
Thanks. So, I'm gonna be posting all kinds of stuff on there so people can learn more about it. So,
right.
Yeah.
Now, tell me then, how does this come about that you partner up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation? Has this been in the works for a while now, or?
It's been something I've been thinking about for a while. It was as simple as me wanting to do the research and find out the best possible organization that I could find.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of other great ones out there.
Sure.
But with the Prostate Cancer Foundation, they have 84% of everything they make in goes directly towards research, with the remaining 16 being administrative fees. Yeah. That's a great percentage for a company or for a nonprofit.
Right.
So, I got to talking with them, and my father is a patient at the James Cancer Center downtown, but it was difficult to figure out a way to funnel it into directly the prostate cancer fundraiser. A million great causes out there, but this is what we wanted to focus on for this. So the Prostate Cancer Foundation was just really awesome, and it's as simple as whatever we get for all of this, cutting them a check. You know what I mean? That's at the end. It was like they're just so happy to get the money for this, and so we're partnering with them. And then, like I said, so many great companies, and I could go on and on about so many people that are just donating their time, donating products, and all to try to raise money, which is really awesome. It's amazing.
People can go to your Instagram to find out more details, right? And then I'll post off the thing that you tagged me in the other day.
Yeah.
I'll repost that as well.
I'll be tagging you all kinds of stuff.
Perfect. Bring it on.
And then the West End social media, Facebook and the West End Great Southern will be posting on Instagram as well. Some of the Watershed and Middle West is probably going to be sharing some stuff as well. So there's a lot of ways, but you go to my Instagram and you find everything. And I'm even going to be having a site set up through the Prostate Cancer Foundation website. If somebody wants to donate money but they can't make it to one of these events, it goes directly to them as well.
That would be awesome.
I'm excited about that.
Now, tell me, going back a little bit further now.
Sure.
Where did you get the interest where you're like, I love mixing drinks, making drinks?
Yeah.
Coming up with it's a certain science to it.
It started with I love drinking drinks a lot earlier than that. I'll tell you that much. When I was in college, I tried to bartend and I got a couple shifts here and there.
Right.
And I wasn't really good at it. You know what I mean? I was like,
I've been there too.
Please just order a beer or a shot. Like somebody comes up or something.
Just pour a whiskey shot.
Yeah, like I can do that. I think. And then I worked in radio for a while, and I had a good run of 8-9 years or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And at one point, I was working out in New York, and I started bartending on the side because it's so expensive out there, and I needed more money. And I got.
How long were you? You said New York?
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
I was at the station. I was working out there for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, something like that. It was K-Rock, and then transitioned to another station, but. I bounced around to a few different cities doing that. But it was during that time in New York whenever I started bartending and I got a little bit more serious about it.
Right.
But it was still just a side job. And it's really only been within the last 8 years or so that I got to be more serious about it. And you learn the basics and you're like, okay, I got that down. And then you try to always build on that. So the passion just continues to grow. And, I would have told you last year it was at an all-time high, but now I'm more passionate about it than ever, and I think that will just continue to grow. I think I kind of fell into my true love of a career and just was started as a side gig.
And that's a special thing when you can fall into something that you love,
Yeah, man, for sure.
Now tell me this too, because I'm interested to know a little bit about this this challenge that you're a part of that you won, the Cointreau challenge. Mm-hmm. Break that down for me. How did that come about? So this was 614 Magazine, right?
Yeah, it was 614 Magazine and Cointreau hosted it. So Cointreau is the orange liqueur essentially you use. It's like a place of a triple sec and a margarita. It's a fine product. And if you're gonna make a margarita, you kind of have to have that in there, right? So I was invited to do this. A lot of the competitions that I've done, you have to submit an application, maybe an essay, or maybe you have to make your cocktail for them, and it's a big thing. This was kind of fun. I was invited to do it, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not,
Yeah.
And I learned more about it as it kind of went along, and so it had to be, it was held at the View, and in the German Village area, which was pretty cool, cool space. So you had to do a unique riff on a margarita. That was the theme this year. Apparently they've done it for a few years now, and it was really cool to be a part of that. There were, I think, 8 to 10 different bartenders from around. Most of them were from Columbus, but one was from Chillicothe. There was somebody from Lancaster.
Okay. Wow.
Some really talented bartenders.
Guarantee there's no one there from Zanesville.
I don't believe so.
There are not very many mixologists in Zanesville, Ohio. I'll tell you that.
Come, let's get Zanesville out. Come on, get out to some competition.
Somebody,
Zanesville.
you know what? Some kid might be watching this, and maybe he's like, "I'm going to be the first.
We'll be the first.
I'm going to be the first. I'm getting out of Zanesville with my mixologist experience.
Breaking out.
Yeah,
breaking out." But so it was really fun, and I, really got into the idea of obsessing over how I was going to make this work, because I had this idea in my head. I wanted to enter.
So you knew about what the requirements beforehand. Before you went.
Yeah.
So you had already started game planning.
Yeah, it was, you have to, complete creative freedom, but it has to resemble a margarita.
Right.
So I had this idea. I wanted to enter a Patron tequila competition in the summer, but I missed the deadline. I just got so busy with other stuff, and I was like, crap.
You were drinking too much Patron.
I was drinking too much Patron. I forgot.
That happens.
A couple days went by, and I'm like, oh no, I missed it. That being said, my buddy Logan Demme actually did apply, and he made it in. He's competing really soon in Brooklyn, I think it is, for the regional title. So good luck to him.
Good luck to him.
I hope he takes it home. So I had this idea in my head that I wanted to do something for that, and it changed it up a little bit, but that's where it started. I was like, I want to do a roasted corn infused silver tequila.
All right.
And I was doing it. It was really cool, but it didn't quite work with the Cointreau, with the orange.
Yeah.
So I switched some stuff around, but I kept the corn idea in play. So what I did was I did a pink peppercorn infusion into Jose Cuervo.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was cool. It really turned out well. And then I did the roasted corn, but as a cordial. So you use a neutral grain spirit, and it's just a nice way to incorporate that and give it a little bit of an extra pop.
Right.
But the sweetness from it really came from the corn, the sweet corn.
You're making me thirsty over here.
it was
ingredients. I'm like, damn.
We'll hook you up with one sometime, man. We'll make it happen. So then I did that little bit of fresh lime, the Cointreau, of course. A mezcal spritz over top of it, just light, give a little bit of a smoky flavor to it, and garnished it with an edible marigold. And I did the whole theme around the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead theme, which was really, really cool.
Yeah,
and I think
cool.
I think that got me some points too, because it was like,
hey, you got to get those points how you can.
I was excited about that presentation. I was like, I love that kind of stuff.
I'm all about presentation too.
Yeah, got to make a kick-ass drink, but you also have to have it look good too, right?
Exactly.
And so it was a lot of fun, and so many great cocktails there. I had a chance to try a few of them, so I was surprised and honored whenever I won. I got this super cool trophy sitting at my house.
You gotta love having a trophy.
Yeah, right? I'm competitive, so
did you see trying any of those other drinks? Did they kind of give you any kind of ideas that?
Yeah,
does that ever happen? When
it does happen. A lot of times, with some of these competitions, like win or lose, you want to take something away from it,
right?
And I always tell people, I've been fortunate enough to be a part of, 7 or 8 competitions now over the last year. And, I've had people ask me, how do I get involved, or what should I do? And just looking for some pointers, maybe get into the first one. And I always tell people, prepare.
Right.
If you think that it's perfect and you've over-prepared, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right? And then win or lose, you win from something. You can get that from that. You're taking away something.
Right.
Right? You perfected your craft. Maybe you picked up a new technique in what you were going to do with that cocktail.
Sure.
Maybe you got better at public speaking. So win or lose, you're better at something. And then you go to the competition, and to your question, maybe you see somebody else doing something that you've never seen before.
Right.
And that's cool. I'm not going to steal that, but how can I incorporate that for a future competition or just on my cocktail menu or whatever? So they're worth it for so many reasons. And also just the camaraderie and the friendships that you can make. Sometimes people, don't want to talk to anybody else at these competitions, and that's fine.
You get the super competitive people like that? Do you think they're worried that people are going to steal their...
I don't know. I don't think they're worried. I think there's... There is a certain sect of the bartending community in general that, let's just say there's a reason that the pretentious bartender stigma exists.
Right.
And I have encountered some of them.
Yeah.
Not so much in Columbus, but in some other cities and stuff. And just I'm as competitive as they get.
Right.
But also, I'm there to have a good time, and I want to build up that sense of community.
Right.
So... most of the time, especially here in Columbus, I met so many cool people and built some friendships based on meeting people for the first time at these competitions. Not just local people, but I talk about Logan or Nate or Sean or some of these guys, or my buddy Lanessa. But I made a great friendship with this girl named Sarah that lives out in Dayton. And I met her at a competition, and we've been in different competitions together in different cities.
That's cool.
And it's you got to know somebody you got to hang out with.
Right.
And if either one of us would have been just we're too cool for school here, then it never would have happened.
Right.
You're missing out on a beautiful part of what this industry can be.
Camaraderie is a huge
exactly, man. Yeah. It's all make each other better and build each other up.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great mindset to have.
Because you're going to win some, you're going to lose some.
Absolutely. That's just life, right?
Yeah.
I got to ask you this, because I'm really curious to this. Jesse Hubbard's signature drink. Do you have something that you've come up with that you're that is my winner? That's the best thing I've ever come up with.
That's a good question. That's a hard question. The best thing I've ever come up with. Wow. My idea of what I probably like to drink.
Yeah, maybe I should rephrase. What's maybe your favorite thing?
There's two different things. Some of my favorite things are probably just riffs on some of the classics, like an old fashioned or a Boulevardier or something like that.
Sure.
Some of my best drinks and most successful drinks have been some of the weirder stuff that I've done. I've got one that I do and that I really, really like a lot, and it's really simple, and it's bourbon, Aperol, a little bit of sweet vermouth, and a splash of Luxardo liqueur. And it's just a little sweet. Just this nice sipper.
Right.
If you like old fashions, you like that. Is that my best cocktail? Probably not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Probably one of them that I've won with. There's one that I actually entered in a competition that I didn't win with, but I'm really, really proud of. It's called On My Way Downtown, and the general idea is I did a fat wash. If you're familiar with that technique at all, so it's kind of like an infusion. So It was a bourbon barrel aged gin from Watershed, and I infused smoked cheddar in it.
Right.
So the fat washing is you infuse it and then you let it freeze, and it kind of gets you can really get all of the oils and the fat out.
Right.
So I did that with some apple brandy, smoked cinnamon bitters, and a pear brown sugar cordial or a pear cordial, and it was really weird, and I was really happy and proud of the way it turned out, and I think. It didn't win the competition I put it in, but we put it on the menu, and people are coming in for it because it's so weird. People want to try everybody just calls it the cheese drink. Nobody knows the actual name.
Drink.
Nobody knows the name of the drink. Right. It's do you have the cheese drink?
Yeah, can I get the cheese drink?
That's the coolest. That's the coolest thing. I was that's the biggest compliment. I'm that's so weird, and people that try that's really good. I didn't know what to expect. So that's probably. I don't know. That's one of the more recent ones I've done, so I'm excited about it.
That's another one I'm going to have to try sometime, the cheese drink.
Yeah, the cheese drink.
The cheese drink.
Just rename it.
So I have to ask this because I'm really curious, being, making these drinks as you do. Do you ever just, go out on Friday night, Saturday night? So your, taste for other drinks kind of, can you enjoy just a PBR every now and then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, can I ever get Friday or Saturday night off?
Yeah,
that's the thing, unfortunately.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, man. I am, people ask me that a lot.
Yeah.
And I am, at least I like to think that I am the least snobby, pretentious person. I mean, I know what I love craft beer, and I love good cocktails, and I like nice whiskey.
Right.
But if I'm at a buddy's house and he hands me, a domestic light beer, I'm going to drink it, I go to a concert, I'm probably going to be drinking PBR. I'm not going to be drinking...
The bigger problem would be if he handed you an O'Doul's. A non-alcoholic.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
What? But yeah, man, listen, I like what I like, but I can get down with whatever. This summer I even tried one of the Natty Light lemonade.
The Natter Days.
Natter Day, yeah.
I just had a Natty Daddy the other day. Have you heard of this?
No.
They're at 8% alcohol. And I tried it, and I was like, "Oh Jesus, that's not a natural light."
Just a regular beer.
Well, yeah, it's I thought it was just going to be a regular natty, like a natural light, and it did not taste like a natural light. It was pretty strong.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're always coming up with all these like new beers now.
I mean, do I have that kind of stuff in my fridge? No.
Right.
But I mean, my go-to, everyday lighter beer. I love Stella.
Yeah, I love Stella too.
Cheers to that. But I try to really support the local scene with, the beer scene here. A lot of great beers, a lot of great breweries in Columbus. But yeah, man, I can get down with whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm paying, I might get something a little bit nicer. But my buddy's paying, it's like, just give me a PBR.
Yeah.
The shot or whatever.
So I have to ask you too. Speaking of whiskey.
Yeah.
What for you is your favorite, your go-to whiskey?
Yeah,
because you probably have tried so many.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say just one. I really gravitate toward rye whiskeys.
Okay.
I love rye, especially when it starts to get a little bit more of a chill in the air, like it is now. It's that spice. And it just warms you up, and just it's a little bit of a bigger flavor, I think. And that being said, lately I've really enjoyed a couple expressions of rye whiskey that probably aren't really the best representations of what rye whiskeys are, because they're so different. But I like the Angel's Envy rye a lot.
Okay.
It's finished in Caribbean rum casks.
I have tried
so
it.
Good, but it's not a traditional rye.
Right.
If somebody's wanting to try a rye for the first time, that's not what you give them.
Right.
Because then nothing else is like that.
I just tried that like 2 weeks ago for the first time.
What'd you think?
Angel's Envy. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I love it. And we're going to feature that on our tasting, coincidentally, for the event. We have to.
Yeah.
But also Basil Hayden's, what is it? It's their dark rye.
Okay.
Finished in port wine casks.
I haven't had that before.
It's really, really good. I really like that a lot. But one of my absolute favorites is Willet. And we can't get that in Ohio, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Really, really good stuff. Their bourbon's great. Their rye is great.
Where are they based out of?
They're they're in Kentucky, close to Bardstown.
Okay.
I forget the actual name of the town they're in, but they're close to Bardstown. Nestled right between Maker's Mark and Jim Beam.
Okay.
Right in that area. But they're a smaller distillery. Fantastic stuff. Michter's is great. I love Michter's. I mean, I could sit here and go on and on about everything.
Sure.
I mean, I love Woodford, Whistlepig. And something I've really, really enjoyed is coming here. And, admittedly, I was not familiar with the distilleries here in Columbus before I moved here, but so good.
Yeah.
The Pumpernickel Rye from Middle West Spirits is fantastic. The bourbon that Watershed's putting out, fantastic. And I drink that stuff regularly. And I never would have thought that, with everything out there, that I would drink something from Ohio before I moved here. And now I'm like, hell yeah, man, Ohio's putting out good stuff. I'm telling my buddies back in Louisville, and I'm like, no, you guys you gotta try this stuff. They're doing it right out here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
And we'll come back with more.
Sounds
Jesse
good,
Hubbard.
Sounds good.
And we are back with Jesse Hubbard. We were talking all things whiskey. And you were actually recently just in another competition. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so recently at the Hollywood Casino, they held what they call Ohio's Best Bartender competition, which was a unique one for me. I should say every other competition that I've ever done has been based on the creative aspect of coming up with a cocktail and presenting it. This one was about speed, accuracy, crowd involvement, like bar setup, situational awareness, all that kind of stuff. So it was definitely interesting. I entered it because I wanted to do something I had never done before.
Sure.
Like I said, I'm competitive, and I want to
keep things fun and
keep things
try
fun.
New competitions.
Yeah, and I knew some other people that were doing it. And
how many people were in it? Do you know?
The 20-something, somewhere between 22 and 30.
Gotcha. Now, how is this set up when they do this?
So it was,
like the actual setup. Like, where are you standing next to another person where you're competing doing this?
So it was cool. It was the Buckeye Bar Expo.
Okay.
And they have, all all the vendors everywhere. And at the end, in the ballroom at the casino there, they had a bunch of tables kind of like lined up next to each other, set up with all the products. And you go up. You weren't necessarily head-to-head against the heat that you were going up against because they picked the best scores out of the overall.
Right.
But you're going at the same time as other people.
Interesting.
So, they timed you, and they also...
You do have a time limit.
You have a time... That was one aspect of the judging. So you have a time limit, and not a time limit, but they time you to see how fast you can go. Gotcha. They also measure your pours. So it was all free pouring. So no measuring, just free pouring everything out. So you had to be pretty accurate with that. You had to put everything back where it was. You know what I mean? This isn't the bar you're used to.
Right.
So they put everything back where it was. They deducted you for spills. And if you got the crowd involved, you got points for that.
Oh, dude, I'm hoping that you got the crowd.
Well, I did.
You were really pulling them in.
I did, and I want to say this. So the crew at the Westin, everybody from the GM of the hotel to, our HR director, so many great people. Like everybody, so many people came out to cheer, not just me on, but Ben Andrew, who also works at the whiskey bar.
Okay, cool.
Came out to do his first competition. And they came out and they made so much noise for us. It was awesome. And if there was a point whenever it was close between me and somebody else, I know that put me over the edge.
They were putting you over the top.
They were putting me over the top.
Yeah.
And I'm hamming it up.
Absolutely.
And so it meant a lot to me that they all came out to support us. I thought that was
that's
really,
cool.
really cool because they didn't have to do that. It was on a Monday. I'm sure they all wanted to go home.
Right.
And they hung out for hours. And that was like,
awesome.
I told them all how much it meant to me, but if any of them listen to this, I want them to know to every single one of those guys, it means a lot that they came out to support us. So that was really cool.
Was there a big crowd there?
It was a decent crowd.
Imagine that being like my first challenge would be extremely nervous.
Ben was very nervous, and he did well. I'm proud of him. He finished ninth, top 10.
Oh, that's pretty good.
His new nickname is Top 10 Ben.
It's a great
his new nickname. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of him. He finished in the top 10 his first ever competition.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that was really cool. I'm really, really proud of him for doing that.
Yeah.
And so I want him to get involved in more as well. And that's been fun for me to kind of, he's a fantastic bartender. He's every bit as good as I am. But it's been fun for me to take him kind of under my wing and help him get involved in more of these competitions.
Right.
And he's excited about that. I'm excited to see him succeed more.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So it's at Hollywood Casino, this challenge. Do you think you'll do it again next year?
Maybe. It just
You
depends.
had a good overall time.
I
finished third?
Yeah, I finished third. Got a nice little plaque, which was cool.
You're collecting the hardware, aren't you?
I was joking. I was like, this little plaque is like, I've won some competitions running, getting something as nice as this for third.
You said you competed in what, 70 challenges this year?
Something like that, yeah.
So how much hardware have you come in with? You've been collecting stuff at the house.
I got a few things. Sometimes they're like cash prizes or like whatever in place. I'm okay with that too. Yeah, it's fun. It's it's nice. The one that I really want so bad is so I'm an old school wrestling fan from back in the day.
I am too, man. You're preaching to choir,
yes, sir.
brother.
So, I saw you the Mark Mero thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Mark Mero one, right?
Yeah, I've been talking to him on Twitter. I'm hoping to work something out. We haven't set a date or anything yet, but
I'll be listening to that.
That would be fun. I'm hoping to get him. It helps when you live 15 minutes from the airport.
It does, yeah. It's like, I'll go pick you up, yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious when I told my brother, because he used to watch it with me all the time.
Yeah.
The Attitude Era.
Yeah.
He was like, who the hell's Mark Mero? I said, I'm ashamed of you.
Yeah.
I said, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Did he not know him from WCW? Was it Johnny B. Bad?
Johnny B. Bad, yeah. The marvelous Mark Mero.
Marvelous Mark Mero, yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man. He's like a big time motivational speaker now.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw your post about it.
Yeah.
They
said he's the number one motivational speaker in the country, and I looked him up, and
that's cool.
He jet sets all over the place.
Good for him.
Yeah,
we need to hear more success stories about.
That's what I said.
Former pro wrestlers doing stuff like that.
You don't hear very many of those stories.
And that's cool.
But anyways, you brought up.
Yeah. What was I saying? So the Espanyol cocktail fights, which is a really cool thing, and I did that with my friend Lanessa.
Did you say you hosted this?
No, I was in it.
Oh,
I was in it. Me and my friend Lanessa, we did it last.
It's called Cocktail Fights.
The Cocktail Fights. So this was actually the first competition, like a first real competition that I ever did. This was back last spring.
Okay.
So I haven't been doing them that long, and it was a blast. So you partner up with a teammate.
Okay.
And you do your cocktail on a stage. It was at the Bluestone.
Okay.
Which was awesome because I've seen shows there.
Awesome place.
So cool. and you'd come up with a theme. So me and Lanessa were the NWO. She was the Macho Man. I was NWO Sting.
Perfect.
And that was up to that point the coolest thing that I like in my entire career. Cool. I'm like, that was amazing.
Do other people come up with like their own team names like that?
Everybody comes up. We were NWO for life.
Yeah, that was our team. You have to be.
So there's so many great concepts. There's so many great teams and everything there. So we didn't win, but it was awesome just to be a part of that.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
Sean Taylor and Derek Reno won, and they're awesome and they deserve to win. And I was talking to Sean and PJ, who won it the year before at a recent competition. I said, you guys both have what I want. Because if you win, you get tag team championship belts.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Now seems like a great time to mention this for this podcast. Well, for this whole show I put together.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, I'm going to have everyone vote on who the best guest, like their favorite guest was.
Oh,
and they're going to get a championship belt. A custom championship belt.
I want that belt. I want that belt.
Yeah, you had to make your case. I said I need to tell people now because that way they can come on and cut their own wrestling promos.
Yeah. Oh man, that's amazing.
I found a company that like customizes them, and I'm gonna have like the show logo on it. It's gonna say guest of the year or whatever on it. I haven't figured out the exact.
I'm not gonna be like former Ohio State point guard or Marvelous Mark Mara.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, you know what? I don't think if Mark Mara. Well, listen. I think most of the people that are going to vote around here are going to vote for people they know around here, right? No one's going to vote for Mark Mara around here.
I would.
That guy has an intercontinental title at home.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't need a championship.
If Mark wins, Mark. If you win, I'll trade you.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and vacate. I'm going to vacate the belt for him.
Yeah.
So we'll have another. Whoever's runner-up will win it.
I was going to say I have like one of the replica old school WCW belts.
Yeah.
So if Mark wins, I'll trade him that for his Intercontinental.
You got to get the one that's spray painted NWO.
Yeah. We thought about doing it. Anyway, we went off the rails there for a minute. I don't know, but I was telling the guys that, like, so I was just joking with them. I was like, they both won. And I'm like, you sons of guns. Like, I want that so bad.
I do have that one up there. But that's a kid's one.
Well, that's still cool, though.
That's a kid's WWE belt.
That's still cool, man.
But that's cool. They got championship belts.
They're like legit championship belts. I said, what do you guys do with that?
Were they like customized for the?
I don't know if they had their names on, but like it has like the Espillon cocktail fights, and it's a whole special thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the coolest trophy if you're a wrestling fan or whatever. Like, it's just the coolest thing.
Especially if you have people over and you're like, that's just my championship belt.
I said I'd wear it to work for like a month straight if I want it.
Right, just around your waist.
Just go grocery shopping.
Yeah. All this?
Go to like Target and I was like, what's this?
I forgot I even had it on.
Sorry. It's embarrassing.
Well, that's cool though. That's a pretty cool,
that's a goal.
Trophy,
It's a goal. Like, I'm going to enter that thing, every year, and hopefully one of these years we'll win. But me and Lanessa are going to do it again next year. We got
it's crazy
concept
that
you
just started competing in these challenges, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And just from talking to you, it sounds like you put in the work, like you're constantly wanting to get better at making, something special as far as drinks are concerned.
I'm competitive.
It just seems like
fun.
it. I can pick up on it. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like,
it's a dedication to your craft.
I like it. And like I said, it makes you better at what you do every day.
Yeah.
It's not just about the competition. But like I grew up an athlete, and the knees aren't what they once were.
Yeah.
And so I can't play basketball or baseball as well and as often as I used to.
I feel you there.
Right? So this is a nice creative and competitive outlet. And it's something that I love doing, and you can, it's all in good fun. It's nice to win, but like these are just really cool events to be a part of.
Have you ever thought about putting on your own challenge at the Weston?
We are talking with somebody. I don't want to say who.
Sure.
Just in case. But we're talking with a brand about doing one there.
That would be cool.
Yes, I've been thinking about that for a long time, and like I said, the whole management team and everybody at the West End is so supportive of me, and really gives me a lot of creative freedom for it to be a corporate company,
right,
which is pretty cool. And in early talkings about that, it seems like it's going to happen.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Columbus is such a great place for creativity, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
It's like so much, there's so much free space to just work and collaborate with other people. And it makes it so much more fun. It
really does. That was one of the things that, we were looking at a lot of different places to move. It wasn't like, it's going to be Columbus. We were looking at a lot of different cities. And, it exceeded my expectations when it comes to that. But, from the outside looking in, I'm like, seems like a really cool town, pretty hip.
Right.
Good sports town, it's good food, good drink, good music scene, good art scene, and
it's growing fast.
It is, man. It is. It's cool to be here and be a part of this. It really is.
I gotta ask you this because I'm really interested. You said you watched the JJ one. you're listening to it.
Yeah.
I always bring this up on every podcast that I have. I'm such a movie guy, and we were talking off camera before that.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a big pop culture nerd.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the movie Cocktails?
Yeah.
I guess it's cocktail. Is it cocktail or cocktails?
Cocktail.
Yeah, it's
cocktail.
right?
Right?
Yeah.
You make me sick. But Cocktails and Dreams was the name of this bar, right?
Right, yep.
I actually just watched. It's one of those rewatchables.
Yeah, absolutely.
I caught,
if
like,
it's
the
on
last-
TV, you're
yeah.
like, you end up
I caught the last 30 minutes of it a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah, well, this is like the bummer part.
What's his name? Like Brian Donahue or something like that?
Brian, yeah. His partner?
Yeah.
Is it Brian Brown or something
Something
like that?
like that.
Anyway, yeah, it was like right at the end. Spoiler alert, he killed himself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I watched that, and I'm like, oh, the bummer. And then Tom Cruise comes in, like, fighting Elizabeth Shue's father. And
Elizabeth Shue, man. She's
that was like right in her heyday,
Oh.
like Karate Kid and Cocktail and all that.
There was a bunch of girls around that time that kind of looked the same. You remember the movie Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
Remember, who's the girl in Howard the Duck? She always reminds me of Elizabeth Shue, but it's not
You're right.
Elizabeth Shue. Is that the girl? It's not the same girl that's like the girl that's in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like they all look the same.
Yeah, like Leah something or other.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
all look the same to me. But that's not taken away from the hotness that is Elizabeth. What is it?
No, yeah, nah, I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it.
No, Elizabeth Shue was a looker, man. She still is.
What's she up to these days? I haven't seen her.
She's in a show, I think, on TV. I couldn't tell you what one. But I remember seeing a preview for some episode or something that she was in. It's like one of those like NCIS shows or whatever. There's like 100 of those.
They're a recognizable star from Once Upon a Time on one of those.
But Cocktail's got to be like, are you annoyed by the bartenders that are always throwing up the bottles and shit? It's like, what does that drink taste like? You know, it's like
like flair bartending isn't my thing. I guess it's big in Vegas, and there's a market for that, and more power to you if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I have never taken the time or had any desire to learn how to flip bottles behind my back or whatever. I'm sure you can make a lot of money doing that in certain parts of the world.
Did you go to bartending school before you?
Nah, man. I people ask me about bartending school sometimes, and I feel like it's not necessary.
Right.
And, I just learned, like I said, when I first started a long time ago, I was just not good.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just not going to be good at this.
Yeah.
And I had other stuff. I was in school, so I had other stuff going on. But I learned by pestering the bartenders where I worked.
Well, that's the best way to learn, right?
And just like really kind of annoying them with questions about things. And reading, getting online.
You're just putting in the time, too.
Putting in the time, and, it was a slow process. That's still what I do. I get, over the years, you get like certain... some of the books from Death and Company, or the Flavor Bible, stuff like that. I got these books at the house that I always reference.
Right.
I'm always learning. I feel like with anything that you do, if you're passionate about it, you're always wanting to learn and get better.
Sure.
At no point in my life will I ever feel like I've got this whole bartending thing figured out.
Right.
Because there's always something new.
Right.
The minute you're like, all right, I know this many drinks, and then somebody's like, well,
I'm good.
do you know how to make this? I'm like, never heard of that.
Yeah.
So it's.
There's always things you can add to your repertoire, right?
Always things you can add, and there's always new techniques.
Yeah.
Like there's this thing called switching now, where you freeze the spirit to a point where the water from the spirit will freeze if it's like 60 degrees below, and you replace that with another flavored liquid.
Interesting.
Just crazy thing. I don't have the tools to do that,
right?
But I would love to try that. You have to get like a $1,000.
Makes you wonder. They're always coming up with something new, right?
It's brilliant. The stuff that people are coming up with.
Makes you wonder, what's next? I always ask that with like anything.
What's next?
It's like, what's next?
And it's going to be something that's probably so simple.
Right.
Like it was there the whole time,
right.
but
You're like,
nobody ever thought of it.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? That's how like life works.
It is, man.
It's the most mysterious ways.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the events that you have coming up, tell me a little bit more about the silent auction stuff.
Yeah. So that's November 30th, the big event. Like I was saying, we're doing a lot of fun stuff there. DJ, Irish whiskey tasting, beer takeover, free food, cocktails, so on and so forth. But the silent auction is going to be really, really, really exciting. We've got so many great brands that are going to be donating things. Good stuff from Four Roses, from Whistlepig, from Angel's Envy, from Middle West Spirits, from Watershed, from Jameson, who else? Jefferson's, Wolf's Ridge, on and on and on.
That's awesome.
And we're going to have some sports memorabilia, some Ohio State stuff, some more limited beer, some think Mike Martin from Engine House 13 is going to be donating. He does amazing concert screen print concert posters from not just Columbus but all across the nation.
That's pretty cool.
He's kind enough to give us some stuff. You know, and it's still coming together. There's still more people that are excited to be a part of this. So it is going to be something that I'm really hoping we can raise a lot of money for. 100% of everything that we get from the silent auction is going to be going directly to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. And I'm hoping we can do some good stuff. I'm going to be donating some stuff out of my personal beer collection. I've got a lot of rare beer and some sports memorabilia as well. So I'm going to be donating some stuff. And I just want there to be a nice, well-rounded variety of items, and people can come in. And
that'd be cool. It's for a great cause.
It is.
And when you have that, when you come up with that website, I'll link that, so everybody go donate if you can't make it.
Yeah.
But everybody should get out and go to this. It's for a great cause, like we were saying. And it sounds like there's going to be a lot of cool things to, bid on at the auction.
There is, man. And, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to everybody that's giving us this stuff, to raise money. And they don't have to do that. So it means a lot to me, and this is such a personal thing to me, and so many other people that I've talked to about this, they know somebody or have known somebody that has dealt with prostate cancer. And it's, they say that the studies show 1 out of 9 men will be diagnosed in their lifetime.
Yeah.
But the studies show if you live long enough as a man, you will get this. Often, though, it's something else that will, cause somebody to pass away.
Sure.
But if your life expectancy is long enough, you will get prostate cancer. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. And I don't think people know enough about this. I know that I certainly didn't until, my dad was diagnosed, and I know my brother and myself are at a higher risk now.
Yeah.
And so we're paying more attention to it than we ever did. And I want other people to do that. I don't want this to sneak up on anybody else ever again.
Right. Knowledge is power, right?
It is.
The more you know about it, the more it helps you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this has been a blast. I'm so glad that you came.
Me too, man. So much fun, yeah.
I hope you'll come back at some time, and I can't wait to try some of these drinks, by the way. I'm going to have to stop down there and try the cheese drink.
Wait, real quick. Are we talking about the promo for the belts? Is that going to be after the year is over? Everybody comes back and cuts promos?
Yep. I'm going to have everybody. Or you know what? It'd probably be cool if maybe they cut their own promo.
And send them in?
And send them in, and I'll post them on Instagram.
There you go.
And then we'll just have a big competition. And I thought maybe if I take like the best of season 1 and pit it against the best of season 2, because I think I'm gonna do 15 episodes per season.
Yeah.
And just kind of, it's a good way to kind of package them up that way. And maybe I'll have the best of each season in in a tournament.
Okay.
I'll do it that way.
I didn't know if I should get pumped up now.
Well, you can.
What you gonna do? Hubbard Mania, brother. Woo!
That's awesome. Did you say Hubbard Mania?
Hubbard Mania.
Even better. That's gonna be the preview for this episode right there, man. No, man, it's been a blast. I'm so glad that you came over.
Me too, man.
And guys, get involved with this. It's going to be a great cause.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be going on all month long. Yep. I'll post all those dates so people can know about them, and then we'll send them to your way too on Instagram. 614 Whiskey Neat.
Yes, sir.
Great name on Instagram.
To the point.
Very easy to remember for me. I'll tell you that. Thanks, man. I appreciate you doing this. You guys join us again next week for another great episode.